Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Rumi. Imagine dedicating your entire life to the pursuit of God. You've walked into countless churches, stayed up through the night talking to religious friends, hoping something in their words would spark recognition. You've attended Bible study groups week after week, hoping that somewhere between the lines, God would speak. You even moved in with two devoted Christians, thinking that daily life lived in the shadow of faith might reveal a divine pattern. You've looked in every place you could think of, within the four walls of churches, in sacred texts, in prayer, in community. You turned the pages of Augustine and Aquinas, dove into Marx and Jung. You explored religious experience through the works of William James and Rudolf Otto. You recited the Psalms and found poetry in Dostoevsky. You've let worship music fill the silence of your room, and you've prayed again and again for days on end. You studied theology at one of the most renowned universities in the world, Oxford, and still nothing. Not once did you feel anything that resembled the presence of God, not even a glimmer. You tried everything, and still nothing came. Most atheists don't go to such great lengths, but for Alex O'Connor, philosopher and host of Within Reason, it wasn't about proving God wrong. It was about desperately wanting to believe, to feel, to see, to know, to embrace the divine with certainty. Yet, no matter how hard he tried, no matter how sincere the search, there was nothing. Why? Could it be that God, if there is such a thing, is not personal at all? What if the entire concept of a personal God is something we create because it fits the way we view the world? After all, we are beings driven by desire and fear. We want health, wealth, love. We fear death, loss, pain. So we turn God into a kind of cosmic therapist, someone to satisfy our needs, to protect us from suffering, to tell us we're okay. Prayer becomes transactional. I give you faith, you give me peace. I give you praise, you fix my life. But what if God doesn't work like that? What if God isn't involved in that way at all? This is something that Hinduism grappled with early on. The foundation of Hindu philosophy and even Buddhism is the concept of an impersonal God, Brahman. The formless, nameless source of all that is. Beyond labels, beyond comprehension, Brahman is not a person. Brahman is being itself. It is not a God you worship. It is the essence of what you are. But what do you do with that? How do you connect to a God that is indifferent to your desires, your prayers, your pain? How does a wave pray to the ocean that made it when the ocean does not care which wave travels farthest, which wave crashes first? That's why you won't find temples devoted to Brahman. It's not worshipped. Why would you worship that which you already are? So, over time, Hinduism introduced deities, personal forms of the divine, avatars, gods and goddesses, so that people could connect with something that listens, something that feels close. These deities were still aspects of Brahman, but they gave the human heart something to hold on to, a divine presence that could guide, protect, or intervene. But even then, what we see is what we already carry inside us. You can't see Jesus without already having an image of Jesus in your mind. You can't see Shiva without knowing what Shiva is. The mind creates the image, then projects it outward, and sometimes, in that feedback loop, we mistake projection for revelation. We want to see God so badly, we see what we believe. And that brings us back to Alex O'Connor's dilemma. He's not unwilling to believe, he's willing, even eager, but nothing shows up. Maybe the reason is simple, yet deeply unsettling. He's looking for something that doesn't exist in the way he imagines it. Maybe God is not something to find. Maybe God is something to realize. The divine may not be separate from the world, watching from the clouds, but embedded in everything, and especially in you. That's the root of non-duality, the idea that the creator and the creation are not two, that there is no separation, that what you seek is what you are. And when that shift happens, when seeking ends and understanding begins, the religious life takes on a different meaning. It becomes a journey inward, a journey to understand the self, because in understanding yourself, you understand life. You understand the divine. As Jiddu Krishnamurti once said, "When I understand myself, I understand you. And out of that understanding comes love." That's the missing piece. Love, not fear, not belief, not doctrine, but love. That love is why we search, because we feel its absence. We want to find it somewhere, in a God, in another person, in a Savior. But we are only ever going to find it by understanding the thing that's searching, ourselves. So yes, search for God. Ask the big questions. Study the great texts. Go to church. But don't be surprised if nothing answers from the outside. What you're looking for may already be within you. Seek all you want, but understand this. What you're truly looking for isn't out there. And until you turn inward, all you'll ever find is silence.